Bruce sees all.
Hi and welcome to the Bruce Sees All YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your interest. It's very rare that we get subscribers here to the channel, so if you take or have taken the time to subscribe, I thank you very much. Lots of setbacks, lots of things I'm trying to adjust on the computer. I need my photo editor. I should get that in a couple of days. The better one, lights on the surface of the moon. By quite simply bringing the exposure down, we can see that inside of those lights, here's the big secret. That's where they're driving around and walking around, inside of those lights. Think of it, it is near impossible to be able to see the surface properly, right? But again, not impossible. I've showed it many a times. We see giant structures there that are impossible to miss. Look what happens when we bring the exposure down, like I showed in the last video. There are light sources on the surface of the moon. And aside from that, there's something that's really bothering me, but at the same time exciting me. It's the UFO activity in the sky. The UFOs quite recently that I was able to capture, here's a very recent capture, as you all remember, another UFO light literally going to touch the other UFO, and a massive photonic light's going to appear, but only in the infrared camera, and nothing appears in the sky. These are definitely the ones that they are hiding. How many sightings do you think the Pentagon has and is hiding from you? Probably most of them. Most of the disturbing or concerning ones, right? They're not going to tell or show everyone what's going on. So when an amateur captures something, because these aliens have to do with Earth, not the elites, by the way, right? The elites may be driving around in their expensive, back-engineered UFO vessels that they took the ideals and propulsion systems and changed them up and made them their own. I don't think anybody would have doubted that. But the secretive part is that there's more than just humans in this universe. And I think no matter how or no matter who thinks that there is not anyone else in the universe, I'm just afraid that you're being deceived, right? Or it could be Bruce that's completely wrong. Like I said, that's the beautiful part about freedom of speech. We're allowed talking amongst ourselves and, sharing each of our own ideas. So a UFO turning into photonic light as it flashes. That's not just one characteristic that I noticed. One of my favorite ones was this baby flying away into the depth of field of the image, not going from left to right in the sky, and literally disappeared after I asked it to. And it took off like a bat out of hell, and you will see it split into two balls of light. Watch the end. Ploop. Don't see it very long, eh? Only a frame, but that's exactly why we have to slow down the footage. When it was playing fast, the footage, I saw it leave and just disappear. I didn't notice those two lights, and here we're looking at it a lot slower. So this object is literally spiraling itself around towards the right, like a tornado, a funnel, and is going further away into the screen, and is going, you're going to see here for one frame, split in two. I'm going frame by frame here. It's almost going to happen. There it is, a swivel. We saw something leave that light, and then you're going to see right there, and then you're going to see the two lights appear soon. Wait for it. Taking long, eh? Frame by frame. Watch. Thought it was disappeared. It's not. Boom. Two lights. Last frame, then disappears. Very recently, this was, days away from January 2023, these objects lifted up off the surface. I'm going to show you the one I got just a couple of days ago. Two of them lifting up off the surface at the same time in that same area. They're hiding this from the people. They're not telling us exactly what the hell's going on. They're interacting with the surface, that's for sure. I have no idea what they're doing, but they're doing something. I've lingered on that one a couple of times, as I always do, and I always will. I'll bring back what I'm finding. Look at this on the moon. This light goes into a patch, literally smoky patch on the surface of the moon. Why? They're literally at the bottom of Copernicus crater. there are more beings, other areas. Obviously, there's the blue patch. There's a many hundreds of miles long stretch connected to industries. It's just at the bottom of Copernicus crater. It freaking boggles my mind how two things: my research isn't in the news, and that I'm not dead. Because it's like all of a sudden nobody can expose the government, but oh, it's just Bruce. Bruce comes along and exposes something even deeper than the deep state itself and everything that's been exposed with them, and nobody reacts. That is construction on the surface of the moon. Read them and weep. The ones that don't want to believe it, well, there's nothing you can do. These objects were built. It's obvious. An archaeological perspective, I've gotten quite a few of them, if it's really archaeologists to tell me, it's obvious. Everyone knows what you're showing. It's literally construction. It's just that these geologists and, archaeologists and everyone that it works in those fields is just shutting up because he's just, he or she is just getting their salary, is just trying to make it to their retirement, Other areas on the moon and other events on the moon also reminded me of a possible war on the surface of the moon. World War III is pretty imminent here on Earth right now, so you could imagine on the surface of the moon. Why, and I've always wondered why, that these lights were headed towards these patches. This one here doubles itself and becomes two lights. Why is there a smoke and haze trailing these objects? Is it an object that was shot down? Or are they sporadically shooting under that haze inside of that light? Just like us here under the white blue marble, where you look at the marble and you go, oh, nice little blue planet. When in reality, we're torturing people down here on the planet. So, look at the movement of the light, characteristics, it's turning positions. They're under there. I proved it. And you can see them once in a while. Easy to see, you think? Of course not. They're not easy at all to see. But you can't rule it out that there is definitely some type of intelligent being interacting with the moon. Now, what the living hell is this? Back in 218, the end of 218, or is it 219, 218? Maybe you didn't even see it. It's coming from the top going down towards the bottom. Two cigar-shaped objects. Even looks like there's another one in the center or something connecting them. As you're going to see, there it is crossing the screen. What the heck is that object crossing the screen? You're going to see it here with the filtered inversion. It's a negative shot, quite simply, to be able to see this object going by. I bet some of you probably didn't even see it yet, Only days ago, I caught UFOs lifting up off the freaking ground. This is when it all started to go haywire. Right after Christmas, just before December, January 23, I got 3 divisions lifting up off the surface, and you can tell that with the characteristics that they're not planes or helicopters, because not everybody has videos of lights leaving the surface and then disappearing, obviously. And you can see how close these buggers were on the surface. They were on the surface, or they were literally appearing and levitating out of the air, out of the thin air from the surface, where hydro towers are. High-powered tension lines run across into a forested region just beside the American and Canadian border. Look what this one does freehand. Sometimes I ran out to get it. Did you see it was hovering? And same place, and did you see it was going towards the right? And now it's going towards the left. Helicopters can do that. Obviously, if they're flashing that low, you'd see some type of light, more than just this photonic light. You would see the strobe, right? Flashing lights. I only caught one UFO that flashed with a stroboscope. I'll actually show it again, but whether it be human or alien, obviously it's human. Aliens probably won't come back and show, flashing lights. And here I am, freehand, shaking, following this back to wherever the hell it's going. It's right over the area. There are the famous buildings again that are stuck in my image all the time when I see those bloody UFOs, and you can literally see it. This is proof. It's important that I show this because it's not only on the moon and in the sky that UFOs are interacting. They're coming down to our surface right here on Earth. 1 division, 2 divisions, 3 divisions. Some people tell me they don't even see what I showed here in the video. There's 2 UFOs rising in the sky right now. Whoop, the one on the left just flashed. I have a hard time believing some of you don't see this. Right? You come to a video and you say, well, I don't see what you're showing. Oh, okay, well, get some glasses because 2 UFOs are lifting up off the surface. They're lifting up beside a biological lab. Maybe nobody gives a shit, but I'm telling you, these objects even interact with me. So don't depend on the government to wait for disclosure. Depend on me and people like me that have access to the sky and that actually interact with these beings. The Pentagon, they are not interacting with UFO, alien beings, right? It's the humans that are interacting with these beings, and the Pentagon and Men in Black are the same thing, trying to reach those people to find out exactly what's going on. The truth is out there. Just have to grab it.
Where is it? There it is. That is freehand. Sorry for the shake. It's a big one. Can you flash for me, sir? Or ma'am? Unbelievable.
Truth is out there. My name is Bruce Swartz, everyone. Thanks so much for connecting with me and this amazing community that hangs out here. See you at the live streams on Fridays and Wednesdays. Everyone, thanks for the generous contributions and thanks for watching the videos.
Aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are landing on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter 'cause disclosure's coming soon.